So one of the things that I think about in how we deal with our guests is how do we get through the mental health issues and the substance abuse issues to really engage that person. And perhaps my favorite story about that was a few years ago. We had a guest who'd been coming to Miriam's Kitchen probably for, gosh, at least 10 years, and probably about 3 or 4 years into his time at Miriam's Kitchen. We had tried to engage him in various activities. We have therapy programs. Just wasn't interested. He was simply coming for the meals. And he's one of those folks that when he got his meal, he would sit against the wall of the dining room in a folding chair and not talk to anybody. He was literally catatonic. He wouldn't make eye contact with anyone. And despite how many times our case managers went up and talked to him, he wouldn't engage. Well, one thing we did know about this individual is that he loved getting mail. Loved getting mail. And we knew that because one of the services we offer is a post office box for people to receive mail. And it makes sense. You're living out on the street. You don't have a mailing address. And he was the guy that would sit in the library and pull out all the business reply cards from the various magazines, etc., fill them out and send away for information like, how to join the Army or various other things. So we would get tons and tons of his mail. One day, it was probably early fall, he came in with nothing more than a t-shirt and a shirt on, and it was turning cold, cold enough that certainly you would have a jacket on if you were outside, and if you were sleeping outside, you would have a heavy jacket, a sleeping bag, blanket, etc. He had none of that. And no matter how hard our folks tried to get him to take a jacket, a blanket, whatever, he absolutely refused. He didn't even engage with them. So our case managers, because they got to know him so well, because of his repeated time at Miriam's Kitchen, because we had these mailing services, etc., hit upon a solution. And I imagine by now most people could guess what that solution was. We mailed it to him. We put it in a package, walked up to him with the package, and said, "Hey, Philip, look at this. You got your very first package here at Miriam's Kitchen." He opened it. His eyes, his face lit up in a way that he had never, ever lit up before in the dining room. Took the coat out, took the blanket out, put the coat on. And while that may be a small success, it meant that one less individual was going to die of hypothermia. It was one small step in engaging that individual, and one more way that we could try and solidify our relationship so that it would mean he wouldn't be sleeping out on the streets each and every night on his own. And perhaps that's my favorite story about the impact that Miriam's Kitchen has on the lives of its guests.